Today, we're going to be looking at the top 10 stocks on WallStreetBets. Now, I am a professional investor. I am competing in the US Investing Championship. You can read for yourself down below. And what I want to do is look at the most discussed stocks on WallStreetBets. But we already looked at them sorted by rank, which is number of mentions. What I want to do now is actually sort by the 24-hour change. Like what's popping? What's popping these days? CoreWeave. CoreWeave is the first thing that's popping. Now, here's the deal. I understand that SoFi is the future of finance. I understand that SoFi bros think it is the greatest stock in the history of time. And because of that, we must always start everything paying our respects to the one and only SoFi. We all must pray to the SoFi gods that it will only continue to go up. You SoFi bros are ridiculous. But let's start with SoFi. All right, so let me just put SoFi here. That's the wrong button. Oh, that was definitely the wrong button. Okay, there we go. All right, let's put SoFi here, SoFi, and then let's go look at SoFi objectively. Objectively, put your bias aside and look at it objectively. Disgust or disgust? I know. Okay, so looking at SoFi stock, we got a sell signal back on December 9th. Now, what has happened since December 9th? Let's follow SoFi since then. December 9th was here. Okay. So December 9th is when we got the sell signal. And as you can see, it had a bearish trend. A trend is marked by the 10 under the 20 and price under the 50. That is how you mathematically create a bullish or bearish trend. Now, I don't need any sort of YouTube disclaimer to go on top of this. When price is going up, the 10 goes over the 20, price goes over the 50. When price is going down, the 10 goes under the 20, price goes under the 50. Now, when that happens, that doesn't mean it's going to continue on to $1 million a share for your SoFi bros or down to zero, right? Nothing like that can happen. Or let me rephrase that. We're not calling for any sort of future prediction. We're just saying that this is what is happening, okay? Now, it's been trending sideways to down for the last month. Now, it did pop up. It did pop up right here, and what happened? It got hit by the order block monkey hammer. It got hit by the order block monkey hammer. So for anybody who claims to say order blocks don't work, how in the wide world of sports can you explain how at this random level on the chart, it absolutely randomly got shot back down to where it came from? Totally random, just coincidental area on the chart. Now, you can make your charts look exactly the same as mine. We have free indicators in our Discord that allows you to set up these order blocks exactly the same as mine. So you will never be surprised if something goes up into an order block and gets monkey hammered right back down. So this order block was created on December 1st. Now, what is an order block? This is an area of trapped buyers, okay? Think of it this way. If you bought SoFi and you watched your SoFi stock go down, crazy to think about, but it went down 13%. And then it came back up 14%, right back into this area where you bought it. What do you think is the first thing you're going to do? What do you really think the first thing you're going to do? It's obviously sell. It's obviously sell. That is human psychology at work. That is what these order blocks represent. And that's why it got monkey hammered like it did. Now, can it go through order blocks? Of course. Of course. But the number of buyers has to overwhelm the number of sellers, which it did not do here. SoFi continues to be in a downtrend. Let's go look at it. Oof. Looking at the 09 up here. First, we have the market in our favor. We have the trend of the market being bullish, a buy signal on the market, and bullish breadth in the market. Next, in the finance sector is not doing so hot. And in fact, Trump came out yesterday saying he's trying to cap credit card rates at 10%. I don't know how many credit cards that SoFi puts out. Doesn't really matter. All that matters is the whole sector is negatively impacted by it. The whole sector is getting more fearful, less greedy. The whole sector has more and more sell signals than buy signals, so it has negative breadth right here. So this is what it's saying right here. Now, it does show a green area. Now, the reason that it's green is because it's got more than 2% room up to this order block. It's got about 8% room up to there. So that's why it's got a green on the order block. But objectively speaking, we're in a bearish trend with the sell signal. The fear and greed is getting more fearful. This is a 4 of 9. SoFi, 4 of 9. All right, now let's take a look at these stocks on here. Let's go with CoreWeave, CRWV. CRWV. My fingers weren't working. Oh, hang on. Did I spell it wrong? Or maybe we don't cover it. CRWV. No, we don't cover CoreWeave just yet. Now, funny story is that we covered 2,600 stocks in Outlier. We added 6,000 more in November. And because the amount of data that it takes, it actually crashed our servers. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at CoreWeave objectively and talk about what it looks like. So first, it's going to have 3 of 9 because of the market. Now, what sector is CoreWeave in? This is in the tech sector, right? Let's look at another stock that's in the tech sector, like NVIDIA. That way we can get our sector numbers. Okay, so the tech sector, imagine this is CoreWeave here. We've got the market, we've got the sector, so that's actually 5 of 9. Now, it is in a bullish trend. The 10 went over the 20 and price went over the 50 yesterday. And this order block right here, as you can see, absolutely got monkey hammered right here back in December, but it had enough buyers to overwhelm the sellers. And that's why it crested on top of this. Later on today, when the next candle opens, this will actually close right here. So that order block is closed. So that's great. That gives us a positive trend. That gives us positive order block. I don't know if it'd have a buyer sell signal, and I don't know what the fear and greed would be on this there. So I will go ahead and give you a positive number for both of those. So that actually makes CoreWeave of 9 of 9. A 9 of 9, CRWV gives us a 9 of 9. Now, we're not going to let SoFi sit on top of that. We need to sort largest to smallest. CoreWeave has taken the lead right here. CoreWeave has taken the lead. All right. Now let's go to the next stock here. Meta. Mark Zuckerberg himself. Meta. Let's see how Meta is doing. All right. Meta also not doing that great. This is actually not in the tech sector. Meta is in the communications sector, just so you know. Now, the market trend is going to be the same. The communications sector is looking pretty good. However, the stock got a sell signal back on December 29th. Has been drifting down since then. Meta has been drifting down since then. So December 29th here. Right. Is that what I said? December 29th? Yes. So what we see, it's been drifting down since then. From that sell signal to now, we're looking at, look, come on, clickies. My click button is not working. How about this button? There we go. It's not down a whole lot, about 3% or so. But this is absolutely in a bearish trend. Your 10 has gone under the 20, prices under the 50. Now, because this is happening, right, the stock, don't be surprised to see it go down. But that does not mean that I'm calling for a crash, right? If you're looking for predictions, you're on the wrong YouTube channel, right? Professional investors don't make predictions. We just react to the information that we can see in front of us, and we can see right here, it's trending down. Now, think of it this way. If you're to go out and buy the dip, that is a very dangerous proposition because you don't know how far down it's going to dip. In fact, we can look at the Facebook dip over here. Yeah, I'm going to call it Facebook or Meta, whatever. You can see the Meta dip right here, how it went down and down and down and down. In fact, how far down did it go? The clickies worked this time. It went down about 12% after this huge gap. So between the gap and all the way down, you lost about 22% of the investment just right there. The reason I say you don't want to buy the dip is you just don't know how much further down it's going to go. So you want to be buying stocks in strength. Think of it this way. You don't know how far down a stock is going to drop when you buy the dip. So you're actually putting extra risk on the table. You don't know how far up a stock is going to go when you buy the rip, right? Same logical conclusion. I don't know how far down it's going to go, so I'm not going to buy the dip. I don't know how far up it's going to go, so I'm going to buy the rip, right? Do we see how we're working that process here, right? Buy stocks as they're crashing up, not as they're crashing down. Facebook Meta doesn't look all that great, but it's at a 6 of 9. So let's go ahead and mark it on here. 6 of 9 for Meta. That means SoFi continues to move down. SoFi continues to move down. All right, let's look at the next stock here. Poet Technologies. Let's see if we cover Poet. P-O-E-T. Looks like Poet's not one we cover. Let me double check that I spelled it right. P-O-E-T. And again, this is a tech stock. It says, well, at least I assume it's a tech stock. Poet Technologies. Could be any kind of stock, honestly. But let's go back to NVIDIA. We'll apply the same sector as NVIDIA had here. And I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on the signal and the fear and greed. But let's take a look at the trend and the outlier blocks on Poet, P-O-E-T. Hey, Mike loves the poet. Mike loves the poet. All right, let's see. Let's see. So we're in a bullish trend. That's looking good. And we've got an order block right here. Let's see how close it is. My rule of thumb is 2%. This is 10% away. So Poet actually is on a great tangent right here. I like it. I like it a lot. In fact, because I don't have the fear and greed and the buyer sell signal status, I'll default those for you. So Poet actually falls into a 9 of 9 as well. Look at that. All right, let's continue to sort. Highest to the smallest. SoFi moving its way down the board. Delta Airlines, DAL. DAL. So we are adding more and more stocks on a daily basis. We overloaded the servers and it can't handle all those stocks being added at once, but we're adding more and more on a daily basis. The question is asked, does SoFi ever go down? Of course not. Of course not. All right. So Delta Airlines got a sell signal back on Christmas Eve. Let's go look on Christmas Eve. Delta Airlines. Looks like I have some old drawings on there. Let's remove those. Delta Airlines, December 24th, had a sell signal in place. Now, since then, it's gone sideways, but it does have a bullish trend right now. So let's look at it objectively. The industrial sector looks actually really sharp. Rising fear and greed, rising breadth. Look at the breadth over here. A lot more buy signals coming through and way more uptrends and almost no downtrends in sight. That's looking really good. Okay. And then back over here, the trend is bullish. The signal is a sell, though. Fear and greed is actually going down on this stock. Now, what you can see is a divergence here, which is where the sector is getting more and more greedy. However, this stock itself is actually getting more and more fearful. So I don't know what that means. We'll figure it out one day. But right now, what I see right here is a huge divergence. So objectively speaking, we're going to give Delta Airlines a 7 of 9. Delta Airlines, a 7 of 9. All right. Moving down the board. So this is what a professional investor would do. We're looking at it objectively. So objectively speaking, Delta Airlines is sitting at a 7. All right. Let's go to the next one. AMPX. Let's see if we cover AMPX. AMPX. Looks like another one we don't cover. Let me double check that I spelled it right. AMPX. And that's all right. We're adding it in. I can promise you that. I just don't know how long it's going to take before it's in. All right, AMPX. So this is another tech stock. So we'll go to NVIDIA. And we'll take a look at the NVIDIA sectors. And we already know what that is. But this is still in a bearish trend. The 10 is under the 20. Price is under the 50. So I can't give you that. Because it's still in a bearish trend, I'm going to take off the buy signal status. Since it's getting a little bit higher in price, I'll give you fear and greed, and it doesn't have any outlier blocks out there. So this would actually come down to a 7 of 9. I'm going to say that it has a sell signal. It still has a bearish trend, but it is rising. So maybe the fear and greed would be going up. No outlier blocks in the way. I'll give you 7 of 9 on AMPX. All right. SoFi continues. And listen, I didn't plan it that way, but SoFi continues to move down the board. How about PL? Let's go to PL. All right. This is in the industrial sector. This is a 9 of 9. This is what's called a effortless stock. This is exactly what you want to see. Exactly what you want to see. Let's go to PL real quick. Oh, yeah. Let's look at that. Now, this could be potentially all-time highs. It looks like at least 52-week highs. And let me ask you in the chat. Let me ask you in the chat. I will be waiting for audience participation on this. Let me ask you in the chat. Why is all-time highs bullish AF? But the fundamentals. Chris is unchained today. That's right. Why is all-time highs bullish AF? No sellers. There's literally nobody on top of you. Nobody out there waiting to sell this stock out. Because everybody who's bought it in the history of time, since Jesus walked the earth last, and to this day, if you're still holding PL, you are a happy camper. Everyone is making money. Exactly. So there's nobody who's looking to sell. All-time highs is bullish AF, and that's what we see on PL. This is a 9 of 9 all day. All day, PL, all day. All right, so let's keep going. Sort largest to smallest. There we go. We got 3 more we got to put on the board here. Let's see what the next one is. So the CME. CME. This is CME Group. This is the Chicago Board of Mercantile Exchange. I think. Yeah, world's leading marketplace for derivatives. Yes, exactly. Okay. Ooh, this doesn't look great. This doesn't look great. Now, it's up 1,000% in mentions. It's up to 12, but basically, it's up a huge percentage change because it probably had one person ever talking about it before. And looking at CME does not look good, right? Ooh, just looking at it right here, we've got 4 of 9. It looks like the only thing that it might have on its side is some room to an outlier block. Yeah, this outlier block's got a long way to go ahead of it. 5.83%. Think of it this way, right? If you bought, oh, hang on. Let me show you how good outlier blocks work. Let me show you this. May of 2025. Buyers got trapped right here at this 286 level. It came down. How much did it come down? 8%. Really not all that much. Came back up. Very first time, the very first time, with no doubt, hands down whatsoever, the very first time it came back to this level, what happened? That's exactly what happened. It got monkey hammered. How about the second time? Monkey hammered. How about the third time? Monkey hammered. I don't know how long it's going to take to get through this 286 level, but it's going to have to churn through a lot of sell orders to make it happen. So CME Group is not looking so good at all. This is a 4 of 9. It's in the same sector as SoFi. So CME Group, I'll put below SoFi. You SoFi bros get at least one stock. You SoFi bros get at least one stock. It's better than. What about Warner Brothers Discovery? WBD. Now, I heard something on like Paramount and Warner Brothers. They've been going back and forth. One person's trying to buy, or one studio is trying to buy the other studio. I don't know what's going on. I don't need to know what's going on. I need to know what's going on with price, because if I'm investing in Warner Brothers, the only way that I'm going to get paid and the only way that you're going to get paid is if the price of the stock is going up. So let's take a look at this, right? We are in the communication sector again. The signal is a sell signal. Fear and greed is actually going more towards fear than it is greed. So this is 7 of 9. 7 of 9 on Warner Brothers. Okay. WBD, 7 of 9. Let's sort this again. Make sure that we get the proper positioning for them. Okay, cool. And our last one. Let's pull up the last one of the day. Nebius Group, NBIS. NBIS. What is an NBIS? What is a Nebius? I don't know what it is. Do you know what a Nebius is? NBIS. I literally don't know. Tell me in the chat, because I have no actual idea. Let's look over here in TradingView. It's a technology company. Okay. Packaged software. Okay, cool. So we know that it can be in the tech sector, just like NVIDIA. Neo Cloud, server cloud management for Microsoft. Cool, cool, cool. AI data centers. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you, guys. Look, you don't have to know what it is. In fact, I had this conversation with Tom Basso. So I've actually worked with 5 different market wizards. Tom Basso, Larry Hyatt, Mark Minervini, Jason Shapiro, and Jack Schwager. I've worked with 5 different market wizards, and I learned directly from them. I had this exact conversation with Tom Basso. I said, Tom, I just bought this stock that I've never heard of before. And he goes, so? I do it all the time. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you don't have to know anything about the stock. As long as it's trending up, just ride the trend as long as you possibly can. And once it starts to go down, you get out. Tom Basso is known as Mr. Serenity, right? Just ride the waves up. Just ride the waves up. That's all you got to do. And because of that, that is a mentality that I've adopted as well. You don't have to know anything about the stock to know if the price is moving up or you're going to get paid. Nebius up 10% yesterday, it looks like. Huge move up. So because we don't cover Nebius just yet, and I can tell you it is coming, I just don't know where. Stocks are tools for making money. Exactly. Use it while it's good and then move on. It sounds like Nathan has understood one of my core fundamental aspects of trading, and that's all stocks are bad, but every once in a while they act right. All stocks are bad, and every once in a while they act right. Looking at Nebius right here, we're going to give it a bullish trend. So we're going to give it that. We're going to give it a buy signal because it is moving up bigly. It just blew through this order block right here. Let's see how much room it has to the next one. 10% room to the next one. Fear and greed, I can only imagine, is moving up on Nebius. And like I say, we will be adding it into Outlier. I just don't know when because our servers have been overloaded with all the new data that we've been adding. So this gets a 9 of 9 as well. NBIS gives you a 9 of 9 as well. So everything that we discussed here today is going to lead us to this result. We're looking at it objectively. We're saying that of the stocks that we looked at, of the stocks that were listed as the highest percentage gain in the last 24 hours on WallStreetBets, some of these you really don't need to even worry about. Like CME, don't worry about that. SoFi, I know it wasn't one of the highest mentioned, but it is the greatest stock in the history of mankind. I know you SoFi bros want to hear that. You need your little ego stroked so hard. You can't handle any time somebody says anything bad about SoFi. So I wanted to make sure that SoFi gets included. Metastock and these others, 6 or 7 of 9. Then we've got these 4 right here, our top 4 of the day. Top 4 of the day. There you go. Our top 4 stocks of the day: CoreWeave, Poet, PL, and NBIS. Now, with all that being said, we were using the Outlier platform to make our decisions right here. The Outlier platform is literally 82 cents a day. It is an unbelievably inexpensive way to get quantitative research right at your fingertips. And listen, if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, there's 2 videos popping up here right now. I recommend you click on one of them and have a fantastic day. We'll talk soon.